All right, YouTube. So, one of the functions of ChemTrails is that they help improve the performance of HARP and other geoengineering programs around the world. So, the video in the description below is it's really good. It's like 12 minutes long, and it's actually like a mashup of a History Channel documentary about HARP, and it also has some news coverage of the Hurricane Katrina. And it's kind of a trip. I really recommend you check out the video, but the technology behind it is it's kind of scary. I mean, it's basically like they're playing God. They're manipulating the weather. And the science behind it's pretty twisted. So what they do is that they have like 72 antennas all grouped together, like very large antennas. They're broadcasting at like 72,000 watts per antenna, and which adds up to 3.6 million, which is pretty impressive. And they shoot it up into the ionosphere, and that's right below the stratosphere. So what the ELF waves, which is coming from the antennas, what they do is they actually push up the stratosphere, they push up the ionosphere into the stratosphere. And what that does is it creates like a vacuum, or a dome, and it like a pressure vacuum, and what it does is it pushes jet streams basically wherever you want them to, or wherever you have the antennas set up. They have 3 of them in Alaska, they have 1 in Puerto Rico, they have 1 in Norway, which is owned by the European Union, and then they also have 1 in Russia. And I'm sure they're going to build more, but it's pretty scary, and the footage is pretty much identical. So they have the documentary from HARP, or about HARP, and they show the demonstration of what HARP can do, how it can manipulate weather. I think they have 1 in Greenland. I think that was the final one. And anyways, so the footage of it, or the demonstration rather, the graphic, it's nearly identical to the news coverage of Hurricane Katrina, like of the what do you call that? The chart that they, not the chart, but the graphic that they put up, basically to show you what the weathering patterns are. I don't know the correct term, but anyways, it's kind of a trip. And I was thinking, if I remember correctly, they were saying that this Hurricane Florence, it actually changed direction, so it basically, diverted its course from the Carolinas, and it went down to Georgia, or it's heading towards Georgia now. By the way, thoughts and prayers go out to anybody that's in the area that's going to be affected by that. You know, natural disasters are, they're a bitch, so thoughts and prayers go out to those guys. Everybody out there, too, if you got relatives as well. Anyways, yeah, it's just the science behind it. It's very twisted. But I was thinking, like, it's definitely possible that they've done the same thing here with Hurricane Florence. And I guess the silver lining is that the strength of the storm is, like, not that big compared to Katrina. But nonetheless, it's still a hurricane. It's impressive. You have to get out of there. You have to take it seriously. You have to respect the hurricane, because it won't respect you, in other words. All right, that was a pretty good take. I'm going to, I'm going to end it on that. And I'm looking through YouTube trending right now in terms of news. I just got back from dinner, that's why I'm kind of gassy. Sorry about that. But there's just really not a lot of interesting stuff. So, but I have to realize, because I've actually found out that I've gotten a lot more views when I cover things like Democrat related. And sometimes I like to cover topics that I'm more interested in, but I noticed when I did videos about Beto O'Rourke, Andrew Gillum, the response was definitely very, very, it was very quick. And the folks that I got comments from, they're very interactive, and they gave me some good critique, I guess, in terms of like the way I was talking about Beto O'Rourke. So I've taken their advice. Into consideration, or into cooperation, as Charlie Day would say it. But anyways, no, they've given me some pretty good bullet points, I guess, and so I'm going to try and do some more stories about that. Even though admittedly, I guess, a partisan Republican. I mean, I tend to lean more towards the ideology of the Republican Party. Not that I'm like a total kiss ass of the party or Trump or anything like that. I'm, obviously very critical on the neocons, Lindsey Graham, John McCain. Oh, thank God he's going. Henry Kissinger, just all the bad guys, obviously. And I don't know if Henry Kissinger's a Republican, but anyways, just all the ruling class, They kind of set up this Democrat-Republican dichotomy that's it's starting to fade now. People are starting to realize that both parties are just trying to screw people. But anyways, going back to the original point, I'm going to try and make more videos about the Democrats and just try and be objective about it, because when I watch these videos objectively, you can definitely learn a lot about your enemy, in other words, Anyways, I guess that's the main bullet point of this presentation. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. God bless, and Godspeed to anybody out there in the hurricane's path, and thoughts and prayers going out to the families or any folks that have relatives over there. So stay safe, and I will see you soon.